Good morning. Hi, everyone. Hi, guys. How are we today? Trying to figure out where my microphone should go. That seems good. Hello. All right. I've got my notes pulled up here. And we are ready. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another live stream. I am Ren Lopa with Wolf and Rabbit Ink Salon Marketing. I am the founder and creator of the Successful Hairstylists podcast and community, and I'm super excited to be here with you guys. Today we are talking about something a little bit intense but completely necessary, which is 3 financial decisions that grew my business. Now, it's 2024, you guys. You're going to hear me say this a lot throughout this podcast, but I want you to hear it with like a big sister love of it's 2024. We have no excuses anymore to not know our finances, not know our budget. We have access to literally everything at our fingertips. We have so many resources now that it's really a choice to be in the dark about our finances, whether that's our business finances or our personal finances. So I hope that this chat today, this free training that I'm doing, is really going to help you be motivated and be reminded to really try and have better control over what you're doing, have better knowledge over what you're doing, so that you can have freedom. A lot of times when we talk about finances and budgeting, a lot of people feel restricted. They feel more controlled, right? Like, oh, this means I can't do XYZ. But what I want you guys to understand is that money is freedom. Okay. Money is freedom. It can't buy happiness. It can't, whatever, but like money can't buy freedom. It can't buy choice. It can buy, peace of mind. It can buy, in a lot of ways, opportunity. It can buy a bigger platform to change the world in the ways you want to see it change. Like money is a tool, and everybody deserves to have the opportunity to grow their tools and have more money, regardless of where you are right now. Whether your number one financial goal right now is to just pay your bills without even thinking about it, right? Not having to stress about overdrafting your account. Totally valid, been there. Or if your goal is, look, I want to save 30 grand to put a down payment on a house in the next year, right? Like whatever your goal is, having a pulse on your business finances and your personal finances is huge, okay? And not everybody, the traditional scope of financial stability is that women have a partner, stereotypically a male partner, masculine partner who manages the finances for her so that everything is taken care of. But that is not the reality for a lot of us. And there's a lot of vulnerability that happens with women, even when that is the possibility or the situation for them. So what I want you to be able to do always is understand what is happening in your business, know exactly, how to make it better or improve it, whether you have one client that month or hundreds of clients that month, and how to set realistic goals for yourself and have a little bit of self accountability in there for freedom, right? Not self accountability for restriction, for punishment, for judgment of yourself, self accountability freedom, for freedom. Having the stress of money on your shoulders, it doesn't leave space for a lot of other great things, right? Like we don't make our best decisions. We don't show up as our best self when we have that stress and pressure of our survival, of our livelihood, of our success or failure, of if we can keep the doors open. So I hope that this is really going to give you some super practical, you guys know me, practical, tangible, hands-on things you can do today to feel better about where you are, to actually know where you are, know how to take a pulse of what's happening, and then to move forward, okay? So that's what we're going to be doing. If you're wondering why I am talking about this or what makes me someone who can talk about this, like, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial planner. Okay. I'm just a woman who has had at different times, $50 in my bank account. I've had creditors calling me before, nonstop. These baby hairs are nonstop for those of you who are watching the video. So I've had creditors calling me for money I couldn't pay. I've had $50 in my bank account. I have had so much money coming in and not keeping any of it, to the other extreme of finally wrapping my brain around how to lovingly and in a free way get control of my finances, where I didn't feel restricted. I felt excited, where I didn't feel like I was punishing myself. I felt like I was empowering myself. And I have built 2 six-figure businesses, which most women, I think it's like only 20% of women entrepreneurs hit the six-figure mark. So I do feel like I have something to say. I have some experience here. And as always, with any training you listen to, I want you to take what sounds relevant for you, what's going to work for you, and leave the rest, right? You might hear one thing I say today that you think could work for you. And that's what I want you to lean into. All right. But I'm going to share what worked for me. And I really hope that you can get control over it sooner than I did and feel good about it sooner than I did, with some of these tools and really easy resources I'm going to share with you. All you need for this, all you need to do what I'm going to recommend by the end is a piece of paper, a pen, and access to your bank accounts. So it's something anybody can do no matter where you are right now. And I'm a believer, like, I'm here doing this. Like, this is awkward. This is uncomfortable. Like, money can be a tough topic to talk about, but I'm here doing this because as I grow and I move forward, I want to take all of you with me. Okay. I want to take all of you with me. And I know that you guys want to take the person behind you with her. So, like, let's just all keep a hand out, um, and look back and bring everyone with us that we possibly can. Okay. Okay. So, here are 3 financial decisions that grew my business. And then after I share those, I am going to share my financial method. So, this is something I do in my business, but this is also something me and my husband do together. This is our like money way that we just keep awareness, we keep grounded in the facts. Money can feel very intense and very emotional. So, how can we stay grounded in data and what's actually going on, not what we feel is going on, not what we think is going on, but in actual, like, what is happening right now and why that works so well? Okay. Okay. So, 3 financial decisions that grew my business. So, number one, and this is where I really think that everyone should start, is just with managing your cash flow in your business. Okay. Um, Managing our cash flow. So, for people who might be in a commission salon, this is going to be managing your income, your checks that you're getting. So, we need to really understand what is coming in and how that's working. Now, as independent stylists, we know that we get 100% of what we make, right? So, we have an invoice, someone is going to pay that invoice, done. It's in our account now. What we don't know, especially when we're brand new coming over, is that 50% or more immediately should be going back into the business. Okay. So you might be thinking, wait, Ren, I left a 50% commission split to now come and make 50% of my business. And it's like, well, yeah, 50%, depending on your expenses in your business at that time, could be more, could be less. 50% is what you're getting paid from every payment that comes into your business. So all your sales transactions, you're making 50% immediately. And then maybe at the end, you're going to have extra profit that can get distributed to you. But that's how it goes. I think a lot of times where I can see people aren't doing this is when they talk about getting products for a service, right? They're like, well, I was going to make 300 today, but the products for the service were so expensive. I'm only going to make XYZ. No, those products should already be part of that 50% that is going back into your business. So when you have a client coming in for a $150 service, you should already anticipate, okay, cool, I'm getting paid $75 for that. Like I said, in the end, could it shake out and you make more? Absolutely. But when we go into it with that mindset of some of that is going to be for my inventory, some of that is going to be for my rent, etc., we are so much more set up for success in terms of anticipating how much we're actually going to be making at the end of the day. I think a lot of us get in trouble and we cause our own discouragement when we're like, okay, cool, I'm going to make $2,000 this week. All of our expenses end up coming out. We need inventory, we need new color, we need products for our clients. Then we feel like something has been taken from us instead of just understanding the cash flow of our business. Okay. So the first thing to do is start managing your cash flow. I'm going to give you guys resources on how to figure that out. So I'm going to share this again, but the first way to really figure this out is a book called Profit First. Okay. Profit First is going to show you exactly how to structure your business so that you understand how much you should be getting paid and how high your expenses should be. So following this method will even show you, am I paying too much in rent? Do I need a cheaper suite? Do I need to look at booth renting until I have a higher clientele and then can go to a suite? Like, how is all of this working for me? It is going to show you a lot of that, okay? If we have very high expenses, then we can expect that our take-home income is going to be lower. So even less than 50%, it might be 40%. Okay, so that's number one, managing cash flow, understanding what's coming in, how we pay ourselves, and all of that. Number two, budgeting and planning ahead, okay? Like I said at the beginning, there is absolutely no reason for us to not be aware of what is happening in our bank account. So to me, what budget really means is what's coming in and what's coming out, what is happening in the day-to-day of my bank account. Okay, so this could be your business bank account. This could be your personal bank account. You really need to know what your business is costing you and what your personal life, by the way, is costing you every single month. Like, I should be able to ask you that and you know right off the top of your head, right? Like, okay, well, my business costs me $1,500 every month. So I have to at least make double that, right? I have to at least make double that to have an income I'm paying myself and pay for my business. And the same with your personal life. What does your personal life cost you every single month? And knowing that is so, so empowering because then you can start to take control, increasing your cash flow, decreasing your expenses, knowing how much you can save, knowing how much you can afford to be going out and shopping and things like that. And it starts to feel more free versus so stressful. So that is going to be budgeting and planning ahead. Then we have, okay, so managing cash flow, budgeting and planning ahead. And then lastly, number three is financial literacy. Okay. What I had to do to actually start changing my business, see growth, changing my personal life, changing my relationship with money was growing my knowledge. 9 times out of 10, if a topic is uncomfortable for you, if there's something out there that you don't like doing, it's really because you just don't know. And so when we don't know things, we don't like them. Okay. So we need to, if you have a resistance to money, if you have a resistance to budgeting, we need to grow our financial literacy. The good news is that in 2024, it's easier than ever to grow that literacy. I'm going to share with you the 3 ways that I grow my literacy. So, number one, is the Money Guys podcast. Okay. Now, the first few times you listen to this podcast, it will probably feel like too much, too high level, right? They really talk about a lot of things. They talk about net worth, they talk about investing, they talk about these different percentages. They have all these calculators, and it's going to feel maybe even like another language. Keep listening to it. Okay. That is how we build our literacy, is we listen to what other people are doing. They do a great episode every single year where they break down average net worth, average income, average savings account, by age bracket, and then better yet, how to start wherever you are and build wealth for the future. So, obviously, you're hearing that, and that's more about our personal life. But when you're good at managing your business money, when you're good at managing your personal money, they both impact the other, right? You are just financially literate. That is going to translate into all areas of your life. Like I mentioned before, profit first. So many businesses and so many business consultants teach the profit first method. When I first read this book, it is by Mark Masterson. I was blown away not only by how easy he made it, how easy it was to understand, how relatable, how judgment free this book was about your business. He even compares, you start this business and you love it and it's perfect. And then all of a sudden it turns into the equivalent of Frankenstein's monster, right? Now it's ruling our life. Now it's taking over everything. Now we're totally out of control of it. And then how to use his profit first methods and formulas to get back control over your business. You guys, this method is so, so good and so simple. It is something that you could look at his formulas, figure out in a day, and then move forward. Yeah, things might take time to level out into his formulas, but this is going to give you a goalpost. So often we're shooting in the absolute dark and not knowing what's going on. Okay. So, Money Guys podcast, the book Profit First. And then lastly, to have financial literacy, you need to be looking at and getting friendly with and cozying up to your own bank statements and bank accounts. So this can be daily. I'm going to give you my monthly thing that I do in my marriage and my business with our personal finances that really help us. But financial literacy, we need to be looking at what is even happening in our bank accounts, what's going on with our credit cards, what is our interest rates on things, how far or how close are we to, having a like emergency fund? How close or how far away are we from retirement and our retirement goals and putting enough money away for that? Like, what is even happening in our life? We need to be looking at it in order to be literate of it and know what's going on. Okay, so those are the three financial decisions that totally changed my business and my personal life. And here is how I implement this. So, if you guys know me, you know that I take kind of bigger concepts and then I put them into a daily, weekly, monthly way that I can actually do things. I personally really struggle with taking big concepts and understanding what does that actually look like in my regular life, right? So this is what that looks like for me. You guys might find your own way, but this is what really helped not only my business, but my husband and I be on the same page, make really good decisions together, and have accountability without nagging each other with finances. So here's what I want you to do. All you need is a piece of paper and a pen. Okay. There's 3 different things I'm going to have you guys itemize out. And then this is just going to be a new way of existing in your household and then managing your money on a monthly basis. So, this first time, it might take a little more effort than it will on a monthly basis, where it might take 30 minutes. And then you guys can talk about it or make a plan or whatever. Okay. So, the first thing that I really want you to do is I want you to just go through your bank account and look for all of the recurring monthly expenses that you have. So, this is going to be your insurances, your credit card payments, your utilities, and everything like that. And I just want you to write out those monthly expenses with their date. I like to do mine by week, right? So I have my expenses separated by week. So week 1 might be $1,000 coming out. Week 2 might be 600. Week 3 might be 300. Week 4 might be another, 800, whatever it is. And then I can know at a glance with the amount that's in my checking account or the amount that we've had deposited, how that relates to that week's bills that are coming out. I can also know my different spending patterns for the month, right? So typically you might have 1 week that a lot of things are coming out, and then maybe 1 or 2 weeks where it's half of that or even lower. Those might be the weeks where you catch up. Those might be the weeks where you can go and buy more inventory for your business. If it's in your personal life, that might be where you plan your shopping or anything additional that you're going to be doing. But this is just going to help everything flow week to week to week. It's also just important to know what your life costs you. Sometimes we might be operating under the assumption that our life costs us $2,000. It really costs us $3,000. And so we're spending all this extra money thinking we have room for it when maybe we don't. Okay, so we're just going to make that recurring list of expenses. Now, I like to keep our list of expenses on our fridge. We do have more people coming over now, so we've moved them upstairs to our offices, but it's where we can see it on a regular basis. We actually use it as a reference when we're planning things out. When we're seeing our checks coming in, we look at it and just see how everything is falling out and shaking out for that month. So that's number one. Number two is you are going to make a list of all of your account balances and you're just going to list them out, okay? So this would be your checking account, your savings account. This would also be your credit card balances, your student loan balances, if you have a mortgage, if you have a credit card or a car balance that you owe for your car. This is going to be investment account balances, okay? So you are just going to total up everything. And look, I know that when you log into your bank, maybe they total it all up for you and there's like a bottom sum, whatever. I don't care. I still want you to just write out checking account has this much, savings is this, credit cards are this, okay? There's something about writing it out and also physically seeing it on a daily basis that just really helps psychologically with taking better control of our business, of our spending habits, and everything. I know that I can tell you when we moved our balances onto our fridge and I could really see it going up or down every month, regardless of what the total is in there. If it goes down one month, I'm like, I need to watch my spending, right? It's not even like a bad thing. It becomes more of like a fun, playful game almost, where it's like, okay, cool. Like I'm going to have it go up next time. Maybe that means I'm going to shop less or I'm going to buy the groceries that are on sale or something like that. But it just gives you a more of an awareness and you're more immersed in how your daily habits are impacting your actual finances, which a lot of times can feel like two different worlds. So it starts to keep them together. Okay, so you have your recurring monthly expenses. You've written down your account balances. So now I want you to go through just the last month. And this is something you're going to start doing every single month. So you're going to go through the last month and you're going to write out all of the spending you did that wasn't extra spend or that wasn't recurring. Okay, so we already wrote down our recurring monthly expenses. So now we're going to go through and look at what wasn't recurring that I spent on. Now, some of that is still going to be a necessity spending. And this is where we're going to see some of our extra spending. Okay, so necessity spending is going to be gas, groceries, house stuff that you need here and there, might be work related stuff for traveling and my like whatever, right? But we are going to write out all of those extra expenses. Now, this area is usually where we have the most control. So I want you to understand, okay, on average, I'm spending $200 in gas or I'm spending $400 in groceries. And then beyond that, I'm spending this much in going out. I'm spending this much in my gym membership, this much in, museums, like whatever, but you're actually going to understand all of the extra spending that you are doing. And what I find is that whenever we start like overdrawing our account or spending more than what we have, it is usually not just because we're trying to like be free and party. Like I think that's really the misconception is that people think that, oh, well, I just want to shop and buy a bunch of stuff. It's not the truth. I think for me personally, what's happened more often than not is I am calculating how much I can go spend on shopping, right? I go shopping and then something happens that either I forgot I had to pay or something just unexpected happens, right? My car needs a new tire or whatever, like something comes up that I wasn't anticipating. And it's these unanticipated things that sometimes throw everything off. So I don't believe that you're being reckless or careless ever with your money. I think that we just don't always remember all the things that we have going on, all the things that we have to pay for. I feel like there are now more quarterly things that I spend on than I ever have before. And remembering those quarterly things is not easy, right? Like there are some prescriptions I have that are quarterly. I won't remember that. I'll just be like, oh, cool, it's another month. I can go on, I could go and do XYZ. Meanwhile, that quarterly amount is going to come out and I will be surprised. Where if I am understanding the flow of my finances, I actually already can remember it and understand what's going on and it's already accounted for. This is just going to help so much. And again, I want you guys to understand it's not about restricting what you're doing. It is about adding freedom to what you're doing. It is about empowering yourself because you might feel free in that moment where you are spending and maybe not thinking about it. But I know you don't feel free when your bank account is down. I know that you don't feel free when you overdraft. I know that you don't feel free when, again, you weren't able to put anything in savings for the month. Like, that is not a free feeling. So, even if you are feeling resistant towards the concept of budgeting or limiting things, I just want you to know that it is more freeing once you're in the habit of it. It feels restricting at first, but it's not. And some of you genuinely might just not be making enough money to afford your life. In that case, the cool thing is now we go back to managing the cash flow, right? Now you know which part of your finances to really focus on. Some of you might be making enough money. You're just really having those extra spendings go out or those random things that keep creeping up. And there you know how to focus it. And then, like I just said, some of you, it might be the opposite where now you know, okay, I really have to focus on getting new clients. I really have to focus on lowering my business expenses. So I'm taking more home so that I can keep up with my life and I can pay for my life. This is just going to help you actually know what's going on. We avoid it because we don't want to know, okay? We avoid it because it's uncomfortable. But I'm telling you guys, if you can push past that discomfort, if you can push past that um, worst case fear that's in your head, because usually that's it, right? We're like, it's going to be bad. I'm going to be disappointed in myself. I don't want to look. If we can push past that, typically it isn't even as bad as we think. And again, now we're empowered because we're like, wait, I'm closer to my goal than I thought. Or I just need 4 new clients a month in order to be in the positive. I just need 4 new clients a month in order to make an extra $100 investment in my Roth IRA or whatever, in my retirement fund. That can change everything. It is so, so empowering. So I hope that this financial method of just like grounding yourself in what is happening and in how your actions, your daily, weekly actions impact your bank accounts and your business and your personal life have helped. I hope that you check out the Money Guys podcast, that Profit First book, and you just start keeping track of your accounts. Look at them first thing in the morning. It is 2024. Women have come a long way. Women have fought to have bank accounts, okay? Like, I don't even think my grandmother could have her own bank account when she was my age, like, or even own her own house when she was my age. Like, we have fought for this. So let's look at our bank accounts every morning. Let's keep track of what's going on so that we can have freedom and empowerment that comes with building wealth and actually getting a hold of our financial life. So I hope that this has been helpful. Please come over to Ren Lopa Official on Instagram and jump in my DMs and tell me your thoughts on this. Is there something else that you do that you think is helpful that I can share with everyone? Is there anything about this that you think is not realistic or not going to work or unfair? Like, definitely come and let me know. Let's have a discussion about it. When you guys come over there, I share these topics in my stories so that we can get even more people in on the conversation. So come over and let's connect. And as always, if you need more clients, also come over there and DM me the word clients. I can help you get 4+ new clients every single week. I can help you grow your business Stylists are doing it right now. Stylists have been doing it for the past few years in this economy, everything. So don't feel hopeless. We don't look at our money and feel hopeless. We look at our money and we feel empowered. We feel strong. We feel capable because there is more than enough to go around. And it's time for you to have your piece. All right. I love you guys. As always, learning is the first step. Now it's time to go put it into action. I will see you all later.